What's going on YouTube? Warstorm here, coming at you guys in another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys an updated guide to side decking. So if you've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a while but you've never heard of, or just are unfamiliar with the concept of side decking, just be a little bit of a guide to kind of help you guys get, better. That's what I'm here for today. So in Yu-Gi-Oh you're allowed a 15 card side deck alongside your main and extra deck. You are required to side the same number of cards you're siding in as you're siding out. And these cards can be things that are helpful in certain matchups depending on the format. And in a format like this one, it can be really difficult to figure out what you're going to side deck. That's what I'm here for today. So the first thing you want to look at is when I think about side decking, the first thing I think of is like how's my deck is built. And I tend to split my decks into two different categories. So to start off, we have the kind of essential combo pieces and the non-essential kind of like combo pieces. So these are cards your deck needs to function. So this is a branded invoked outlet list. Obviously, you need to, these are cards you typically don't want to touch. There are some exceptions, of course, but in general, these are your key engine pieces are obviously things you don't want to touch in your side decking because you don't want to mess with your consistency. There are some exceptions. If you have an engine piece like Owlet, for example, that's not as good, in one scenario, whether it's going first or second, you can slim that down a little bit. If you're going second, for example, when I played against Kishira, I'm siding in 9 cards, so I would side out, slim down the Owlet package just slightly because it's not quite as good, obviously going second, and I had to side a lot of cards in. You don't want to do that if you can help it, but there are some scenarios where you can. But in general, try not to touch your key engine pieces in your deck when you're side decking. So, and the non-engine pieces, these tend to be cards like tech cards and, hand traps, for example, or trap cards your deck happens to be playing. A great Skill Drain's obviously great in like Owlet variants, so it's a card that's in here, and Ash Blossom as well. It's one of the best hand traps in the format. So decks tend to have anywhere from 6 to 9 kind of non-engine piece tech cards. So that's where you want to focus on when you're side decking. You also want to keep in mind which of these cards are good going first or going second. Obviously, a card like Skill Drain that is a powerful floodgate, or something like, for example, Dimensional Barrier, something that's trap cards are obviously something that are good going first because you have to set them first. So those cards obviously are what you want to target when you're going second. If you beat your opponent, typically, most situations your opponent is going to choose to go first. So you know that going in, because you don't declare if you're choosing to go first or second until you've completed the side decking process. That's very important. But most situations your opponent is going to choose to go first if you beat them. So Skill Drain would obviously be a card that would come out in that situation because you're going second. The same thing could apply to something like Ash Blossom. Now for hand traps, it can be a little more complicated because there's some such decks, for example, like Branded Despia is a big one right now. You want to have the Ash Blossom obviously for the Branded Fusion. So in that particular matchup, you might keep Ash Blossom in. But obviously then you're looking at something like Nibiru that's not quite as good against Branded because a lot of them are playing Dragoon. So this would be kind of your target when you're going post-siding and you're going to be going first, for example. If you lose for most decks, you're going to be choosing to go first anyways. So yeah. So the other important advice I have for side decking is really important is you want to build your main deck with your side deck in mind. Meaning, if your side deck has a lot of 3-ofs like mine does, I build my deck with a lot of 3-ofs to make the side decking process easy. Because with time rules being the way they are, you need to side deck as quickly as possible. So you're not wasting too much time, and you're getting jogged by the fact you hit time was called and your opponent burns you. So really, that's a big thing as well. So, for example, I played 3 Skill Drains, so if I'm going second against Kishira, this is a card I'm siding out, and things like Evenly Matched, Dark Ruler No More, Lancia are probably going in. Ash Blossom's another example in this case where it's not quite as good against Kashira, so it would come out for another going second card as well. It does depend on your matchups, obviously, but that's a really key part of side decking, is you want to make it so your ratios of your side deck match with your main deck, so it's really easy for you to just rotate cards in and out, and you don't even really have to think about it. So anyway, guys, that about comes to the end of the video today. Not too long today, but I do hope this video was informative for you guys. Let me know down in the comment section down below how you prefer side decking. As always, I thank you guys for watching. It's Warstorm, signing out.